Hello, crazy cats. Mike Amori, WCA. You have all been given a tactics challenge to raise your points by 200, your tactics points. It's a totally different rating than the one you play on this site. Once you get into chesskid.com, you go to Learn and click Puzzles. This is a version, an account I'm using that's just starting out. So if you're new to the WCA's Chess Kid program, this is about the level of tactic you're going to start out with. These shouldn't be too hard for you. Most of the time you can find mate in one, win a piece, something along those lines. Okay, it's white to move. Now you can't see that on the screen because I've cut it out a little bit to make it clear, but white actually has checkmate in one move. Learn how to pause the video and make sure that you find it, okay? Checkmate in one move. So I'm going to take my mouse, play knight to f8. The computer has just given me a few points. You can't see that, but I'm also clicking next, and a new puzzle will come up. It's telling me to wait. White just played that move with the rook coming down to that square, and now I have to find something. Okay. So we're in the habit of looking at every check and capture. I see that I could move my queen here and make a check, but isn't there a free rook up here in the corner? That looks pretty good. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, let's keep going. Now you guys, I want you to solve them yourself on your own program, but you can solve them here as well. Okay. Pause the video if you have to. Black to play. You're down a whole queen. That's not good. Fortunately, it's your move, and you'll start learning some patterns. That pawns here on the 6th rank are very, very dangerous. Now, I hope it doesn't move when I let go of the mouse. No. Now, I said the 6th rank, and you might see the number 3 and think, hey, what am I talking about? Well, I'm black. If I'm black, this is my 6th rank. Start at the bottom. That's black's 1st rank. The 8 is really only for notation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A pawn on the 6th rank near the king with pieces helping it out can be very dangerous. Checkmate in one move. Okay? We're going to do 10 minutes worth, and then you can go to part 2. All right. The king just took our rook. It's our turn. Look at every check and capture. Pause your video if you have to. Okay? Guys should start seeing this stuff pretty quickly. Once you do, you get really, really good at chess. Now, I asked everyone to raise their tactics rating by 200 points over the break because, again, the New York State Championship is this weekend, so we don't have class. So you guys have 2 weeks to work on this. You do a little bit each day, and you'll probably come in and say, my rating's higher than 200 points. I'll be like, great. By the way, I can see everybody's account. So I can see your rating. So, don't try to hide. Right, Josh? Okay. Checkmate in one move. Did you find it? Good job, Bubba. Game over. Checkmate. Next. Keep going. Don't be lazy. You're too young to be lazy. Oh, man, come on. This is a great checkmating pattern. What a night. Look at this thing. What a night. I would sing the song by the Four Seasons, I think, but you don't want to hear me sing. This knight is beautiful. Look, it's protected twice, kind of like an outpost square, right? On my opponent's side of the board. Protected by a couple of my pawns. No enemy pawns can chase it away. What a beautiful piece. Well, they're not there just to, look good. They help you do things like, I don't know. What do you see? I see mate in one. Look at every check and capture. And then you'll start to appreciate just how strong this knight is. Game over. Checkmate. Look at this. I'm going to be a grandmaster by the time we're done. Next. We're going to rock this thing for 10 minutes. Maybe at your next birthday party, you can tell your friends you're going to have a tactics contest. There you go. All right, black to play. Well, look at every check and capture. We can take the knight over here. The rook takes back, the queen takes back. Nah, I could take the pawn, nah. Well, any checks? Yeah, there's 2 actually. Queen takes knight's not going to work. But I do see a way to win the white queen. Do you? Yeah, you have a knight this close. Look at the pattern. The queen and king both on the same color. A knight cannot fork pieces on two different colors. So, ouchie. King moves. Now, do we have anything better than taking the queen? You see why I'm hesitating? I'm looking at a free queen up there, but I'm not taking it yet because there could be something better. I have a check here. You know, I have a check with my queen, but then the king probably just takes the knight. But I'm going to look at that first. I'm going to look at queen takes knight. As silly as those moves seem, that's what we're trained to do. When you see a good move, look for a better one. Okay. Take the queen. The computer likes what I did, gave me 12 points. Meanwhile, when you start out on chesskid.com and your rating's in the 400s or 500s, you gain a lot of points very quickly. All right, next. Well, we have them in check. Oh, they just took our... Look at that. Wow, that's an interesting idea. That king looks funny, doesn't he, out there? Man, that seems strange, that king on e6, doesn't it? Wow. That's like the best piece black has. What's the queen doing up there? Not much. We don't have a queen. It means white sacrificed it for some reason to get the king out. Wow, I see a way to get him further out. Do you? I think that was white's idea, to give up the queen to get the king to e6. Now, how do we get him to come? Look at every check and capture. I know if I play bishop c4, the king has to come to f5. And then where's our next check? Oh, we have this nice check here on h4 with the knight. And is that mate? No, it's not. He can come here attacking our knight. But, oh man, I've seen stuff like this before. We could even play a move like pawn up, protect the knight, and then follow through with a pawn checkmate. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're going to mate that king. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Check. Yep. Computer likes it. All right. Knight h4. Computer likes it. And that's it. It gave up. Oh, I was hoping it would play king to g4, but it didn't. All right, folks, that was it. I guess we're going to meet the king after like g3 or some other trick. All right, onward. A couple of more to go. All right, we're going to be white. Was that our queen we just lost? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Yeah, I think I see a really strong check in this position. Yeah, knights are funny. They don't protect things diagonally. You guys see the mate in one? Yep. Just slide the old rook over. Game over. All right, I lied. Let's keep going. I said 10 minutes. I think it's only been like 8. There goes our queen again. What's going on? Every time we move, we lose a queen. Okay, another checkmate coming quickly. Look at every check and capture. If it were black's turn, we'd be in big trouble. You see this discovered check this knight would have? Like, wow. So who knows what would happen? Probably not going to end well for us. But fortunately, it's our move. Mate in one. All right, kids, what do you have? Game over. Geniuses. Now, I just gained 25 points on that. So if you're starting out in the 400s, you should be able to do the 200-point challenge. You should be able to get it done in 2 weeks. And by the way, when you make mistakes, you know you lose points. Yeah, that's right. If you're starting out at 1,500 and you have to get to 1,700, well, you have your hands full. Don't complain. I can hear you from here. That's right, Rohan. You got to go to 1,700. Next. Here we go. Well, at least they can't take our queen this time. Rook up to the top of the board, white to play. Well, I want to play this rook check. Then he would have to go to the top. Well, if he goes there, we're going to win at least a rook. And if he comes here, we'll have a discovered check. You guys see this? I know I'm talking out loud. Good things my neighbors can't see me because they'll think I'm talking to myself. I guess I really am. It's really just a microphone. But if this rook checks, that's what I'm thinking of doing. Oh, by the way, whenever you're playing on a computer, I actually have this rook clicked with the mouse, so I can move the rook wherever I want, like here. If you're not sure where the rook was, you know, it's not touch move when you play on a computer. So if you're ready to make a move and you go, oh, no, I don't want to move the rook, What I like to do is I try to take my own king. Now that's definitely illegal. So when I let go, it's going to put it right back to where it was. So, you know, like look at this. I can't take that knight in the corner. So if I let go of this rook, it's going to go way back to where it was. Here, I'll show you. Watch. See? But what I like to do if I'm playing on the internet in a real game, just to be safe, I try to take one of my own pieces because that, you know, is always illegal. All right. So rook to the top has to be good. The king only has 2 legal moves, and I'm either going to mate him or win a rook or maybe both. All right, let's go for it. Correct, the computer says. Aha. Now what? Now what? This is the cool part. We have a discovered check? No. We have 2 checks. We have 3 checks. We can check with the pawn, with the rook. Oh, very cool position. Well, we can win the rook by playing rook f8 check. And I'm wondering if we have better. So there's 2 moves I'm thinking about. I want to check with the rook here, and I also want to play pawn check. If I check with the pawn, the king has to be very careful. He can't come here because bishop here would mate him. So he'll have to come here or here. And I think in either case, if he comes here, we could just move the rook with a discovered check and then queen. Yeah, I think pushing the pawn is gonna beat curtains. Aha, genius. And that's it. The computer won't move. They're giving up. Can you guys see why that's a strong move? All right. I hope you learned something about solving puzzles. You birds have 2 weeks. Okay, I made another video a little more advanced than this one. Look at them both. Do your tactics. You have 2 weeks.